How's it going, everyone? Ajax the Mister here, and today we have one of the all-time, my most favorite boss battles in the entire pantheon of boss battles in Persona 5, that being Shido Maya Moshi. Something on that line, because I remember seeing the text for his name, and I'm like, I find it really hard to pronounce, but that's besides the point. This battle, clap, 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 clap. This, like, that scene right there was freaking hilarious. I thought it was hilarious the way these, opera dudes or these audience members just came up. They just started golf clapping. Like, it was beautiful. But, okay, Persona 5 Shido boss battle. You guys already know the drill with this. This is supposedly one of the final villains that you fight in the game. I say supposedly because I know there's still more game left after this, so we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But in terms of what is going on right here, this is one of the last bosses that you're going to face in Persona 5. And if you guys watched my previous videos on Persona 5, you guys know the first thing I like to tell you guys about is the story and the lore behind this character. This is pretty much the villain, or at least, at face value. He is the main villain that you've been building up to throughout Persona 5. So naturally, you're going to learn more about him as the story progresses. But basically, he wants to be prime minister of the country, and he wants to just basically rule over everyone else. It's kind of like a cliche type of thing in most animes and whatnot. But aside from that, that's pretty much his lore. He wants to rise up through the ranks, kill any opposition that he might have, which is why he was doing the mental shutdown stuff with all these other characters, and a certain other character that I will not mention, but the main reason why I'm not doing a video on that other character, and if you guys have gotten this far in the game, you guys know which character I'm talking about. The reason why I didn't do a recording of that particular fight is because, well, two reasons. One, it caught me off guard. I did not expect to fight this person this early on and out of the blue, out of nowhere. So yeah, I was caught off guard and I couldn't record it. And secondly, it was just mostly I didn't want to spoil you guys on what exactly happens, because that was a big plot twist in terms of what is going on within the story. So I don't want to spoil that for you guys. Maybe on New Game Plus, I might do a proper recording of it once I get back into the game. But yeah, those are the two reasons why you're not seeing a Let's Play of the fight, so to speak, before, the Shido boss battle. But like I was saying, cliche anime villain. I mean, it's not bad. Like, just because it's a cliche does not mean that it's a terrible, story or lore. It's just, I've pretty much seen it before. The guy wants to be top dog. He wants to be the ruler of Japan, and he wants to destroy the country while doing it if he has to. So, yeah, that's pretty much the story in terms of, that department. But now going into the design. Oh my lord, where to even begin with Shido? Good God. Okay, first off, you guys already see the first part. I love this first design. That's right, I said first design. There's more coming up after this, but okay, so like first off, he has his first design. It's him as a general or high-ranking official, probably in like a military type of outfit and whatnot. Represents him very accurately. That's the way he sees himself. He sees himself as the leader of a country. But what I like a lot is the lion that he's mounted on. If you guys look really closely, you can see that the lion has like multiple faces and arms, kind of like a Hecatoncheires from like Greek mythology, with all those hundreds of faces and arms and whatnot. That little monster, well, not little monster, that big monster, but you guys know what I'm saying. The lion looks very similar to that type of monster, and I love the symbolism behind it, because this is how Shido sees the populace. This is how he sees everyone that's voting for him to be prime minister in the country. He sees them as a stepping stone, which you saw earlier on in the video, as he's stepping on the backs of people to get to his, throne, and he sits on it, and now the populace is doing his work. His populace is the one that is doing the dirty work. They're the ones being used and underappreciated. So I really, really love how the lion that he's mounted on is doing most of the dirty work. He's the one that's doing, the side swipes and whatnot, and it's just amazing. I really love that aspect of the boss. Now, as you continue watching the video, you're gonna notice that I start getting my ass handed to me so much in this boss fight, because This, like, okay, I know we mostly go from design into difficulty, but there's just so much with this boss that I can't even comprehend. But let's just go into, like, this specific first phase of the boss. Going into the difficulty, this boss will whoop your ass. Holy crap, did I love the difficulty on this boss. I mean, mind you, while I was fighting it, I was getting annoyed, like all my party members dying and getting resurrected and whatnot. But the boss itself, it just does so much damage. And then it even lowers your stats. It nullifies them sometimes. It boosts its own stats. That's probably the biggest thing with the difficulty on this boss. The guy just has heavy hits. End of story. Not only that, the first phase of the boss fight, you need items to basically cancel out your rage, which, you know, he inflicts on you. I didn't have any items. Luckily, I was able to switch out Haru for, I believe it was Yusuke on my team, and she was able to heal like my characters that had any type of berserk or rage mode, because, oh man, that is going to be the death of you. You guys think I'm kidding. If this guy inflicts rage on you, and if you guys don't know what rage is, it's a status ailment that forces you to attack physically on your turn. So you can't use items, you can't use your persona abilities. Your character is forced into doing a melee attack. But the problem is that Shido's lion Hekatonkare's monster normally puts up a physical barrier on himself. So whatever damage you do to him physically bounces back at you, and sometimes that's a one-hit KO. That I love that little intricacy and that little strategy that he uses to like try and kill you guys, because normally rage doesn't really bother me that much in terms of like ailments. Normally when another monster inflicts rage on me, it doesn't really do that much. Like I get raged and then I just attack the monster. My physical damage is boosted because of the rage, and the monster dies a hell of a lot faster because of it. So I was like, okay, I don't really care about being inflicted with rage. But in this boss fight, oh Lord, either have something that cancels out his physical barrier or have something that cures status ailments, because man, was this first part of the boss fight extremely difficult. Now, as we progress further in the boss fight, I believe when you get his health down like a 1/3 of the way, he takes flight. The lion sprouts wings like a griffin and takes to the air. The strategy doesn't really change that much from here on out. I mean, he does have slightly different attacks, but aside from that, it's still a pretty dope boss fight. It's not as difficult as the first third of the boss fight, but this right here, you mostly just focus, or at least I just focused on physical damage. I didn't really use, you know, persona abilities right here, because I felt like this boss fight was gonna drag on for quite some time if he's gonna keep sprouting wings and transforming and all that nonsense. And I was just really grateful for all the healers that I had on my team. Bless Morgana and his OP, or her, don't know who it is yet, but bless his abilities for healing, resurrecting teammates with full HP, because if Morgana was underleveled in this fight, you're gonna lose. Plain and simple. Unless you stocked up on a crap ton of items, which, me personally, I didn't do that. Very dumb, I know. But, you know, I kind of figured, hey, I could just BS my way through this boss fight like I've been doing the previous ones. Because in the previous ones, I never really stocked up on items. I never really used items in boss fights. I normally just had 2 healers on the field, sometimes 1, depending on if I was comfortable with the boss and, you know, it didn't do that much damage. But yeah, in this boss fight, I kind of wish I did stock up on items, because you're going to see me use and go through the menus of the item list, because I'm like, yo, I need to find something to increase my SP again, refill my SP, because Morgana is OP in terms of healing at this point in the game, and I am loving it in that department. And that's probably another difficulty of this boss fight. You need to manage your SP. In the previous boss fights, you could kind of really spam your SP attacks and not really worry about them. As long as you just start attacking the opponent at the right time, you could use their most OP SP abilities and you have nothing to worry about. In this fight, you need to be careful, because there's a reason why this video is part 1, okay? There's a reason why. So you need to conserve your SP, and that's part of the difficulty as well with this boss fight. And then the final third of the boss finally transitions into this pyramid. This is by far the most easiest of the transformations that Shido turns into, because he doesn't really do that much damage. He doesn't use stat debuffs. Like right now he uses a cannon. Yeah, that did 340 damage. I could heal my main character in the next turn. So it's really not that big of a deal. The guy doesn't really have that many new techniques. So this part of the boss fight wasn't that difficult. But I wasn't complaining because I was running low on SP on certain characters. And I'm like, I know there's a part 2 to this because Shido himself has not fought me yet. Okay, that was the big problem. Shido did not get off his freaking throne and start fighting me yet. So I knew there was something else after this once I defeated, you know, his lion creature. And then not only that, the boss fight gets even easier when he starts charging up this cannon. At first I'm thinking, okay, maybe I gotta start blocking, you know, be on guard and whatnot. But as soon as I saw that I could do over 300 damage with each of my characters, I'm like, nah, you're going down. And that's pretty much the first half of this boss fight. There's still more to come. And yeah, so this is going to be the end of this video at this point. I guess just as a quick recap, I really did enjoy the boss's design. I really liked the difficulty of the boss, and it was amazing. I freaking loved it. Right up there with Kamoshida and Okamura, and basically all the other bosses that I said were pretty dope in terms of design and difficulty. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think of this boss fight? Did you struggle like I did? I didn't really struggle too much. But again, if you don't have SP items, if you don't have characters that can heal and revive, you're gonna have a very, very, very difficult time. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love this boss battle, and don't forget to tune in for part 2 of this boss battle, because yeah, there's more after this. But as always, folks, I'm Ajax the Mister. Have a great day, and as always, folks, thanks for watching.
This ain't the first time you failed to finish this guy off.